You're listening to the Zach Gelb Show on Fox Sports 920 The Jersey.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Fox Sports 920 The Jersey. 609-919-9200 is the number if you want to hop on board with us. Oh my, what a Big Temple football victory, a thrilling one at that on Saturday night. And now joining us to talk about it and preview a big matchup against USF on Friday night is their head football coach in Matt Rhule. Coach, appreciate a few minutes. Congrats on the victory. And how are you?
I'm great, Zach. How are you, buddy?
Well, I'm doing great as well. What a win on Saturday night. I'm still screaming from that victory because you've been in that situation before in the final 2 minutes of games, and your team has not been able to capitalize. On Saturday night, 70 yards in 32 seconds with no timeouts. How did your team do it? Because it was unbelievable.
Well, I thought they just banded together and made the plays that it takes to win those games. Big-time players stepped up. Phillip Walker stepped up. Our O-line stepped up. Jihad was kind of an unsung hero. He blocked a lot of guys in that last moment that came free. And, Ventel made 3 great catches, and then Kirkwood made the catch to win the game. And I'm really proud of those guys. It wouldn't have been possible if the defense hadn't made 2 great stops down the stretch to give us the ball back as an offense. And, it was really a thrilling moment.
Let's talk about that touchdown because some people thought you guys were going to spike the ball. You're at the 10 after the big Ventel Bryant catch. Take me through that last touchdown to Kirkwood. How did it develop, and why didn't you guys spike the ball?
Well, I think when you're coming from that far down the field, there's really, when you say, hey, let's spike it, and you can't spike the ball with less than 3 seconds, you're really kind of putting it in the hands of the officials when they run the clock, when they don't run the clock, and you have to make that call way before you get to the line. So, we have that play practiced all the time. It's a play when the ball gets down inside the 10-yard line, you throw it up, and, that's as good as anything. And, you caught it with 1 second left, so you're hoping if it's incomplete, you have 1 second left. But, I think it's our job as coaches to give our kids a chance to make a play. And that play call gave them a chance to make a play, and that's really all we needed. PJ found Kirkwood, and the rest was history.
You really saw how much Ventel Bryant meant to this team on that final drive. Like you were saying, big catch after big catch. And when I was watching the film yesterday, I noticed that he was very hobbled getting to the line of scrimmage on that final play. We texted about it a little bit yesterday, but just how about his toughness to even get up? Because if he doesn't get up there, that's a 10-second runoff, and you guys lose the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of credit goes to Jonas Jennings. Like, he grabbed him and said, "You got to get up, let's go." And Ventel went over there, and Roger Gansey got him lined up, and that's just veteran leadership. That's a bunch of older guys that realize, hey, this is what it takes to win. You got to make these plays, and we did it last year against UMass. In the same situation, we went down the field in the 2-minute, and it was really John Christopher, a senior, a vet, that made the plays to get us down there. And it was great to go back out there this time and have Ventel, a guy that's been in the program for 3 years, make those great catches, and then have the wherewithal to get up, get on the line, at least give us a chance.
Your most valuable player on offense to me is Jihad Thomas. You've seen what he's been able to do since returning from injury, both on the ground and also in the receiving game. 608 yards combined, 10 offensive touchdowns. Just how about the play of your running back right now and how dynamic he is?
Well, as you said, he's doing it in a lot of different ways. He's returning kicks, he's catching the ball in the backfield, he's running the football. He had a good game rushing, and was probably a shoestring tackle away from, putting up another 100 yards. But he's a tremendous competitor. He got hit early, fumbled the ball early, and came right back out there. And we feel really good about the other guys carrying the ball as well. Raquel Armstead's been a rock for us. Isaiah Wright's been a great change-up. So we feel really good about that position where we don't have to overburden Jihad, and we're able to get him the ball in space a little bit more catching the ball.
You're going to need a full 60-minute effort on Friday night if you're going to want to beat USF. You know how good of a football team they are. How do you get your offense to play 60 minutes?
Well, I think we did. At the end of the day, I see things probably differently than people on the outside see them. When you go down 15-7, we tried to run the football and shorten the game and keep UCF's offense off the field, and went about 58 minutes. So I think the biggest issue for us, besides on offense, is penalties and third down, and that's where we're not doing a great job right now, Zach. We had too many penalties in the first half of that game that really stalled drives. So you can play really hard, you can make great plays, but if you have a penalty that puts you in 1st and 15, it's really hard to win the football game, and that showed up way too often. And then I think the second thing is third down. When we convert third downs, we score touchdowns. So it's really, to me, that scientific. It's those two things. If we do those two things, with our defense, then we have a chance to win a lot of football games.
Matt Rhule with us on the Zach Gelb Show. Coach, last year I thought your most underrated defensive football player was Hassan Redick. Now he's your best defensive football player. He's everywhere. How about your defensive star?
I think Hassan's done an amazing job. I mean, he's really, in the last couple weeks, everything's gotten even better than it has been. And I think it starts with effort. I think it starts with trust in his technique. You know, he's really coachable, so you can help him get better. And it is really starting to show up. I mean, what he did on Saturday was as impressive as anything I've seen.
We know your team. They may not win every game, but they never quit. They always fight till the end. 12:34 left in that second quarter. That was the last time you guys allowed any point on the board in that ball game. What adjustments did Phil and your defense make?
I mean, to be honest with you, really none. I mean, you know, the first touchdown is supposed to be, cover one with a safety in the middle, and the safety, just kind of loses his mind and goes over the top, and the ball hits for a touchdown, and then the long touchdown run, one of our senior linebackers, he's supposed to play the quarterback. He plays the dive, long touchdown run. I think what happened was Phil settled them all down. He said, guys, listen, just do your job, and we're going to be fine. And once that happened, I thought they settled down, and, they played 58 plays. On 54 plays, they only had 104 yards of offense. As great a defensive effort as you'll ever be around. And on the other 4 plays, though, we gave up 194 yards. And so that's really been kind of our defense this year, Zach. Great big play. Great big play. And so I think Phil's just trying to coach the big plays out of them and get them to do their technique all the time. Sometimes it's hard versus up-tempo teams when they're going so fast. But I thought they settled down and they played great defense after that slow start.
So this week you have USF, the lethal attack on offense that they have with Quinnen Flowers and also Mack. What stands out to you about those two players because you've seen them before?
Well, I think Marlon Mack's a great running back. Roddy Adams is a great receiver. But Quinnen Flowers, he's a guy that if you rush him, he can take off and he can score. He can throw it as well. So it's like they have a great tailback who's also a great quarterback. He's just a special football player, and he's a big man. He's not sort of a slight guy. I mean, he can withstand punishment during the game. He can run through guys. So they do all that, and they have a great scheme. They have a bunch of stuff that's really hard to defend, and so they challenge you in a multitude of ways. And it'll be a tremendous challenge for us.
Your team's kryptonite has been going up against that mobile quarterback. How do you get your guys ready this week in practice to face what they're going to face on Friday?
Well, I think that was probably our kryptonite last year. We haven't really been challenged this way. I mean, we're playing with different kids this year. I think we're probably a little bit faster on defense. But at the end of the day, anytime you have a running quarterback, it's really hard. It's hard to defend. We'll use some guys who can run on a quarterback to get them prepared. But really, we've tried for a year now to really coach defending these types of offenses and these types of quarterbacks. And so, it comes down to everybody doing their job. The one that split last week was a guy not doing their job. Everybody doing their job, being patient, trusting their teammates. And, I think when we do that, we've had success.
Football's a team game. It's the most team game in all of sports. I'd also have to imagine you want your offense to go on some long drives to keep that USF offense off the field.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it comes down to kind of like last week. If we can run the football for 200-some yards again, that slows the game down. That's why I talked about third down. You have to be better on third down. You can't have penalties so that you control the ball and keep it away from them, and you let your defense have some rests so that when they do go out there and play, they are playing at full speed. If you're 3 and out and you're throwing the ball and no time comes off the clock, it's really, really hard to have success against teams like this.
Coach, how tough was it to get your team ready for this game that you guys just played after that tough loss to Memphis?
I don't think it was very hard, just because I think a lot of guys realized that, we played a great game against Memphis and then just kind of gave it away, and it was a lapse in focus. It was maybe thinking we had the game won. Whatever it was, I know our guys don't want to be known as that. They want to be known as a team that wins the fourth quarter. And as we told them, every time we have a fourth quarter shutout, we win the game. And, we'd only had one the whole year, and that was against Stony Brook. Had we had a fourth quarter shutout against Memphis, we would have won the game. Had we had one against Penn State, we would have won the game. And so, that was the challenge. And I think our defense, not only did they have a fourth quarter shutout, they had a second half shutout. And that allowed us to have a chance to win the game down the stretch.
You also had to get a new kicker ready because you lost your reliable kicker in Austin Jones, Aaron Boomeri. Oh, Boom was booming some kicks on Saturday night. Coach, that was unbelievable. I know you loved it. You were smiling. I've never seen you smile like that.
Well, That kind of hurts my feelings. I smile all the time. Aaron's a great kid. He just walked on here, sitting there probably saying, hey, I hope I have a chance to play someday. And there he is out there, with a 47-yarder in a big ball game. And, I think he's obviously got the courage. He's obviously got the leg. And, we're sad that Austin's hurt and love him and hope that he gets healthy soon. But, I think Aaron has proven that he can step up and do the job and really excited about it.
Coach, best of luck on Friday. We'll be rooting for you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, my friend.